Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got a great and exciting blend for you guys lined up. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start the water. Now tonight's blend, and keeping up with this month's theme, the teas from all over the world, I've got a tea that I picked up myself from Australia. This one is from, the tea itself is from Australia, but it was shipped from Sri Lanka. It's a Ceylon. I've never done just a regular Ceylon before. Snea, welcome. I've never done just a regular Ceylon before, which is surprising because Ceylon is pretty common. So I'm going to go ahead and open some of this. Vanna, welcome. Hope you stick around. So the water is starting to warm up. We'll go ahead and pour some of this out. Now, Ceylon is one of the more common black teas. That's what you get usually from Lipton. But this is going to be the fresher, better cut leaf. Thomas, welcome. Okay, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and show you what this all looks like. Just take a moment for me to put it back. There we go. Okay, so this is Wally. Welcome. This is what it usually looks like. So you have the long cut black leaf. You see, it's very dark, very earthy. You see different shades of brown and black leaves, and it's roasted. It's not roasted. It's processed to be pretty dark. So this is going to be one of the heavier teas. There we go. Natalie, welcome. Oh, I can't wait to try this one. Now, Ceylon, I tend to understeep a little bit because it can get a little astringent when you oversleep it. So I like to play it safe. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I was trying to fight that that hiccup for a while. So I'm going to steep this as a regular black tea. Probably cut off the time a little bit though. Probably around 4 minutes, but this is going to be at 212 degrees for about 4 minutes, and I can't wait to get this started because Ceylon is pretty. It's like the classic tea flavor. So whenever you think of tea, you generally think of Ceylon. Ceylon is also used in a lot of blends like English breakfast. Hey Ma, welcome. I see you. The tea just came in. So this one in particular, it smelled incredible in the store. This was actually, I purchased it the first day that I landed in Sydney. It was a little bit rainy out, and I was restless, but I didn't want to spend my first day stuck in the hotel room, so I just ran out and found the nearest tea shop, which was located inside a mall. Towards the back, and it was a really nice tea shop. So I picked up a little bit, and we'll see how it tastes. I know it's been a while, but tea doesn't go bad, so I kept putting it off. I always found other teas to do, but it's about time I did a Ceylon because I was actually surprised I haven't done Ceylon before, since it's extremely common, but. We'll see how it goes. Wow, that water's bubbling. Oh, I can't wait. So anyway, a little bit of history. Ceylon is in Sri Lanka now. I'm not good at at geography. So all this time I was thinking that, what was this Ceylon trivia? When was the first Ceylon planted? Ceylon is not planted. That's named after the location. You want to know when the first tea plant was planted. In that case, I'm guessing in around the 16 or 1700s, right around the time I'm trying to get my history straight. I'm not good at history either. Um, right around the time that the English started importing from China. Do you have the exact year? Like 1824. Okay, so I wasn't off by that much. Just a couple hundred years. Not a bad thing. I'll go ahead and pour this water out. There we go. Oof. Alexa, set timer for 4 minutes.
4 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. Okay, so it's 1824, which is, I wasn't that far off. It was about the time that the English were colonizing and importing from China. Um, Now, another piece of trivia: China and Japan only are known for green teas. Um, Black teas didn't become black until they started getting grown and processed in India, where uh, it was oxidized even further, and that's where you get like that really strong earthy flavor, and it's known for that's where the origins came from. Ooh, hold on, 1 second. I forgot to put the top on my teapot. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought as usual. Um, yeah, whatever it was I was thinking is gone. So anyway, yeah, that's the more earthy, the more well-rounded flavor. The Ceylon, that's, I believe Ceylon is actually where the uh, tea started, because since it's the most well known. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's where tea started growing in India, Sri Lanka, and all the surrounding areas. Uh, it hadn't quite gained popularity, but that's, yeah. I'm not 100% sure how correct that is. I'm really testing my knowledge tonight. Oh, but anyway, so yeah, uh, I'm looking at I'm cheating a little bit and looking at the fact sheet, waiting for this to finish steeping, and oof, I'm getting hot already. I'm gonna open this up real quick. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, the thing about this tea is it's so common and it's so well known that it's really hard for me to talk about anything that you don't already know, because it's so common. I mean, uh, this is like the original tea. Well, I couldn't say original tea because, um, how does Ceylon compare to teas from India? Um, well, I mean, it depends really on the altitude, on the air quality. It depends on the soil. There's a lot of different factors that go into to tea. So even Indian tea is not quite common. Like there's really it's really hard to say. Now, if I remember correctly, Ceylon has a lot of like it's like a lot of valleys. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember the terrain. There was a lot of valleys and a lot of flat lands. It does have mountains, of course, because there are. Alexa, stop. It does have a lot of mountains because you can't have valleys without mountains. But, like, if I remember correctly, it's. Ow! So hot. It's usually grown at the lower altitudes. Oof. But in general, Ceylon is usually medium to dark. So you're gonna get a nice wholesome flavor from it. It's usually known for being very earthy, but not super duper strong. So it's not as strong as an Assam, but it's not as light as Darjeeling. So it's like right there in the middle. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this out. Ooh, look at that. That is a beautiful brown-red color. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. Maybe it'll look better if I put it against the white wall, kind of, sort of. We'll see. Oh yeah, you see that? Check it out. That's a really nice color. You can see it. It's practically red from all of that. I am being extremely careful, thank you. I nearly poisoned myself last time, so this time I'm being super careful. Now you can see it's like this is supposed to be like a really dark color, but you see straight through it. It looks very red, especially in the middle. That's where the light is reflecting from the glass. No, I'm not going to poison myself again, I promise. But you can see it's a pretty dark tea. It's not as dark as some I've seen. But it's well, gee, I'm glad my near-death experience was so entertaining. Mom. Anyway. So you can see it's got like a really deep color. And it's got like a really nice, well-rounded odor to it. Like it's very fragrant. It's kind of light and airy. Why does the tea have so many bubbles? It all depends on how it's poured. Sometimes you have teas that are a little bit filmy. Usually bubbles are a pretty good sign of quality, but it's not like the only factor. Usually it's also the way that it well, of course it's gonna be the way it tastes, but you have to consider mouthfeel, you have to consider astringency, things like that. So this tea in particular is very fragrant. It smells exactly the way you would think, but it's got I don't want to say a high density of the odor, but it's more like it's got a nice intensity. If that's even a way to describe it. So I'll go ahead and take a sip real quick. I'll tell you how it tastes. Uh-oh. I should turn that off. Yeah, I don't need that water to stay hot. Oh my lord, shush. I'll close the window for a minute. Wow, that was loud. Anyway. How would you describe the caffeine level? Well, generally black teas are of the most caffeinated, but even the most caffeinated teas don't come close to a cup of coffee. So you're going to have, I believe, it's between 60 and 75% of the caffeine that you would get from a cup of coffee. Correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas. Hey, you're back. Welcome. I just saw you. Juliet, welcome. Ooh, ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that went right to the back of my throat. I should have waited for it to cool off a little bit. But this tea is like very. I mean, it's since it's a Ceylon, it's exactly what you would expect from it. Um, it's just a general black tea, and I think that's part of why I never did a Ceylon before. It's because it's so general. It's hard to talk about. You know, you might cut out because you're in the car. Oh no, that's. I'm glad you're not driving, because that would be. I mean, I wouldn't mind if you just listened on the way, but safety first. Okay, so yeah, Ceylon is since it's so very common, it's pretty much exactly what you would think when you're drinking a tea, and it's really hard to pick out anything that's special about it, because it's the very base of, it's like I can say it tastes like English breakfast because it's essentially English breakfast. But then again, like in quality terms, I can speak to the quality of this particular blend, because all Ceylon is different. You're gonna get different farmers, different farms, different processes. Um, so in this particular one, this is from the Tea Center. I picked this up, as I mentioned, in Australia. And I mean, so far that first sip was pretty good. It's slightly astringent. I tried not to oversteep it, but it tastes a little bit oversteeped. I probably could have stood to lower the temperature just a little bit, but it's not very bad. It's just kind of tastes oversteeped. I mean, that might just be a low quality leaf. It's hard to tell because it's been sitting in my cabinet for quite some time. Almost, yeah. It's been about what, 9 months now, I believe. Did I go? Oh, did I know the tea served on American Airlines in Ceylon? Yeah, like that's the go-to tea for practically anybody that's outside the business. I mean, like everybody. You want black tea, you get Ceylon. You want you want English breakfast, you get Ceylon. I mean, and that's the drawback, because everybody knows it as tea. So it's like the tea of teas, essentially, and it's really hard to talk about anything distinctive about it. Um, but I'll try. So I'm drinking this unsweetened, and it's this particular one. The more it sits, it's getting a little bit bitter. Um, Now, in general, Ceylon is pretty safe if you like tea or you're trying to go into it. So this is essentially where people start. Um, this particular one, I should have. What was this? How does this compare to some of the other Ceylons you've had before? This particular one it tastes a little bit more astringent than I like. Um, this one, honestly, I think it needs to be sweetened a little bit. Oh, excuse me. And I don't like admitting that, because I don't like to sweeten my tea on the. I could add milk, yes, but I don't like to sweeten my tea all that much during the stream, because it tends to take away from the full benefit. Um, I might just sweeten the pot after I finish this class, because like I already know where this is going, and it's going to be a little bit unpleasant just for my palate. I probably missed this, but how long did you steep it, and how hot was the water? The water was 212 degrees, but I only steeped it for 4 minutes. I took it off early to try to avoid oversteeping, and yeah, that didn't that didn't pan out well. Um, I'm gonna either I'm gonna either tack it up to a low quality leaf, or maybe it's been sitting in my cabinet too long. Because I mean, I've had really good Ceylon, and it's like it's usually like, you go to when you just want to have a tea. You don't. I don't know of anybody that has cravings specifically for Ceylon. Um, but in this case, I don't know. I'm slightly disappointed because I mean I've waited 9 months, and I started. I finally got around to drinking it, and it's like I could have gone to Lipton to get this. But I mean, it is what it is. Granted, your maybe a 3 minute steep at 200 would be a good experiment. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, live and learn. You have to see that's one of the beautiful things about uh, drinking tea is that you get to experiment, and everybody's product is different. So some can take the full 5 minutes at 300 at 212 degrees. Others can't. Yeah, sometimes the tea can be meh, and I try to avoid those. That's why I stick to the stores that I know. This one I brought back from Australia, and which is surprising because I have done another tea from them earlier. The same shop, different packaging though. It was um, I forgot the name. It was in the tin. Something. I think it was a masala blend of some sort, and it was good. Like I brought it to work, and I still drink it to this day. But this one is, I guess it's a lower quality because it's in like a pouch rather than a tin. Um, I don't know. Maybe I just hit the I hit them on the wrong day. They had like a good batch and a bad batch, and got the wrong one. Um, but in this case, it's a little bit bitter, and yeah, I'm gonna try to drink this fast so I can sweeten the next one. But I'm sure that understeeping it even more would improve the taste. Now, when it comes to oversteeped teas, it's a lot harder. Black tea is a lot harder to oversteep than a green or a white. So, Mickerdoodles, welcome. Whenever you're drinking a tea, you want to keep that in mind that everything is important. Not sure if you missed it. Did you show the tea leaves? I showed them dry. I'm waiting for them to yeah, I can show you that as well. I'm waiting for them to dry up a little bit so that I can show you. Generally, yeah, Ceylon does open up a lot. Um, that, what, I'll check that out right now because that might also attribute to the quality. So let me open it up a little bit. I'm trying to find a good specimen. Oh yeah, absolutely. What was this? Black tea is foolproof then? No, no, that is that is far from the truth. It's just harder to oversteep, but it can be done. Like this one in particular, you have to know what you're dealing with, um, because in this case, like I feel like I followed everything correct, and it just didn't work. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. I'm not able to find one good example, but if you check it out, okay, so you see that it did open up. There's a lot of curls and stuff, so it still didn't open up completely. Like you see on the edges, everything is still kind of curled. This one here, these down here, so they didn't open up completely, which kind of makes it like it kind of makes me wonder, since it didn't open up completely, I couldn't have oversteeped it. Normally, when you oversteep a tea, there's like you have taken everything out that you possibly could have, and it's just drawing out what's left. And you burn the leaf, and you get like that icky taste. So I don't think I screwed up the tea that bad. I think maybe it's just what's the word? A more brittle leaf. Yeah, it's probably just a more brittle leaf. And that's another thing. Like, I don't know what season this was done. Doesn't say if it's first flush or second flush. But yeah, like this was, I don't know. It's like I'm kind of disappointed in it, and it takes, you guys know, it takes a lot to kind of to disappoint me. When it comes to tea, I pretty much like everything. They are a bit broken up, so the smaller the leaf, the shorter you can steep. Yeah, rookie mistake. I mean, you guys, I did show the leaf before you showed up, so to me it did look like it was kind of long. I don't know, maybe. Well, you know what? Let's find out. Now that we have the after, let's see if we can compare the before. Because I'm curious now how it broke up. Okay. Oh yeah, these are, wow. Yeah, these are really, really short cut. I didn't notice that. It didn't look like that in the oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm not a rookie, but like it's the kind of thing that you overlook when you're brewing a tea, especially one that's so common, you know? I mean, like it even says it on the bag, 212 degrees for 3 to 5 minutes. So I followed the directions. It's just not that kind of a tea. I mean, I can experiment with it, because with tea like this, since it is short leaf, I'd probably do this as an iced tea, but cold steeped. That way, it'll be very hard to oversteep it that way. If you do it in room temperature water or in the fridge overnight, you can probably pull it off. You'll get a better sample of it that way. But hot, I would recommend being more careful with this particular one. Yeah, I'm gonna break my rule. I need I need some sugar, because that's bitter. I don't know. Yeah, iced tea. It's. There we go. I have to be very careful balancing this stuff. It's very common to ice Ceylon. You know, I mean, southern. That's what you get, southern iced tea. You know, you're not going to get. Oh wait, there's a spoon in there already. Cool. I forgot that was that was in there. But yeah, this is a little too not my style. Like, I'm going to break my rule. I mean, at least I'm showing you guys the good reason. Now, when I sweeten teas, I usually use a couple of packets of that's stevia. It's been a while since I've sweetened my tea, so I don't even remember what it's called anymore. Even at work now, I don't sweeten my tea. But all I can say is that I'm glad this isn't an oversteeped green tea, because that's my kryptonite. I cannot drink overly steeped green tea for too long. Like, I know what to expect, and like at the Tulula tea class, we oversteeped the green tea on purpose, and people were nervous to drink it. I was like, "Bring it on!" Ha! It was, yeah, bitter experience, but I knew what to expect, so everybody just watched like, "What?" Oh, I caused trouble that day. Oh yeah, much better, much better. There's still um, that taste of bitterness, but the sugar actually makes it taste more like it has honey in it, which is surprising. It's got it doesn't even have notes of honey. It has like overtones of it coming out, which is it's very strange because I mean sugar has a very distinct sweetness, and so does honey. So when you sweeten your tea, you know the kind of sweetness that you're going to get. Essentially, this one it tastes like pure honey. Maybe that's for it's a maybe it's a result of it being overly earthy, too bitter, and then like the sugar balancing between the two, because honey is not like super duper sweet either. So I'm getting a lot of notes of honey while drinking this. I think that if I were to make this with a lot of sugar, cold steeped, and like left overnight in the fridge, this could make a very good iced tea. Very good hot tea. I am. I'm not convinced. I think in the next. Yeah, you know what? In the next pot, because I still have some left in there, I'll sweeten it with honey and see how it compares. I'll have to use a lot of honey, but it might be worth the experiment. Yeah, like that is super strange. You know, this tea has not given me a straight answer yet. It's only because like I'm drinking it, and yeah, at first I drank it, it was bitter, but it was what I expected it to be, Ceylon. Um, However, when I sweeten it with sugar, now it tastes like honey. So if I sweeten it with honey, I'm like wondering. I'm gonna get the honey right now. I should have picked it up before. I'm just gonna use regular old Honey Bear honey stuff. Comes in a little bear bottle. I bought some different kinds of honey from the Chris Kindle market yesterday, and we came home with like eucalyptus honey, which was incredible. I was not expecting it to taste the way it did. I was expecting more of a sweet Vicks Vapor Rub kind of thing going there, but it was surprisingly good. We had ginger honey, which blew me away, and the chocolate mint honey spread. So yeah, we did good. Ooh. Oh my god, I was like so stuffed right now. I think it's safe to open up the window again. All the ambulances are gone. Oh yeah. So I lost my train of thought now. what was I talking about? I don't know. I got nothing. Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah. So I would definitely try this iced and not hot. Recommending that because I mean, it's not holding up very well. If I were to try this again hot, I would definitely change the parameters. I would do it probably as a green tea. You know, this setting, it does it at 165. Generally, I like to do green teas at about 180, depending on the leaf. But 180 degrees is pretty good for a green tea at about 3 minutes. This one I think I would steep as a green tea, so I would do it 3 minutes at 100 and what did I say, 165? Yeah, I would do it at 165 just to get a good general black tea flavor without. Now I'm wondering if, because I've never noticed before, if Ceylon is generally a short leaf tea. Because whenever I've had black teas, it's always been a longer leaf, you know? I've never had like I've never taken the time to observe it. But this one in particular is kind of short. That's that's interesting. I would have to. I definitely have to look that up. I see. Snea is looking that up on her on the computer right now. Being my producer. So I should have that in just a minute. But I'm not sure if I would imagine that if it was a longer tea or a longer cut, it would taste better. Because you get more of it can withstand more of the heat. So yeah, that's definitely something that we should look into. I'm gonna have an answer in just a second. I see she's working on the computer, hard at it. There we go. They're described as wiry. This is because they are left long and thin with a wire-like look. But you see, then that's the problem because they're supposed to be long and thin. Which, I mean, yeah, that's how a lot of teas are left. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I think that this is just a not so quality tea then. Because, I mean, like, as it... Okay, I've told the story about Lipton 100 times, how they buy the tea dust after everything is sifted. But what I'm not sure if I mentioned this particular one, the way a lot of farmers sift through the teas, they have... Ashley, welcome! They have different levels. So they have the medium, like as it sifts, the large leaves stay on the top tray while the medium and the short fall down into the bottom two, and then you get the very, very bottom, which collects the dust. So you're going to have a couple levels of quality versus what's picked. Oh, excuse me. So this looks like it's about a mid-level tea. So let's see. He said, despite the regional nuances, classic Ceylon flavor is generally thought to be bold, full, and brisk. It has medium to full tannins, some notes of citrus, chocolate, or spice. And Juliet says it might just be broken orange pico leaves, grade leaves, and it would be good in blends. And Mickerdoodle says, "Did you just get dusty tea?" No, I did not get dusty tea. Thankfully, that is, I stay away from Lipton. But Juliet's right. Like it could just be broken orange Pecco. Um, in which case, yeah, I mean, I guess they could sell that off as well. Pecco is actually a dustings. You see, that, yeah, I mean, I could go for. I tend to be a little hard on Lipton sometimes. I mean, you've heard my rant before. But yeah, like I have no problem calling it dusty. That's only because it sits in the warehouse for so long, and then it sits in the at the supermarket for so long. So it could be it could be dusty. But yeah, like it I could see that it would blend well. I mean, this would be the kind of tea that you would put into a an English breakfast. Maybe add a little bit of cinnamon, a couple of spices, some ginger, anything to give it some flavor. This is just very raw, and because there's nothing in it, it doesn't hide the it doesn't hide it very well. Like this is just anywhere working it. Where in Sri Lanka was it grown? Let's see. It was. It doesn't say where. It just says where I bought it. Yeah. Crush some candy cane into it. That's a good idea. Like I have had candy cane tea before, and it's actually pretty good. I actually had some a couple days ago, and it was actually, I mean, granted, candy cane tea is pretty common during the season. What I did one year was I had some black tea and I took a candy cane and I just stirred it in there, and it took maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but the candy cane itself practically melted. So coffee can taste like dirt, like mud, and tea can taste like dirt. Well, I mean, yeah, it's all about the quality of the blend. But yeah, I mean, you got it. It all depends on how well it was processed. This one I would not really recommend unless, I mean, some people like bitter tastes, and that's good for them. I know a couple people who they would drink this down and ask for more, but me, I like a good full flavor. Sometimes like the bitterness overtakes the quality, the overall what's what we're looking for, like the overall earthiness that I like in a regular black tea. Oh, okay. So hopefully, okay. It looks like this is a good temperature. I'm going to see if I can down this real quick and just move on to the next. Get a little bit of honey in there. Oh, not easy. That bitterness is not hiding. Whew, not hiding very well. Let me see. Oh, fun fact, the humidity, cool temperatures, and rainfall of a country's central highlands provides a climate that favors the production of high quality tea. On the other hand, tea produced in low elevation areas such as Matara, Gael, and Ratanapura Districts with high rainfall, warm temperature has high level of astringent properties. Yeah, that's like I said, like a lot of different factors go into the quality of a tea. But in this case, I think it's just we got we got the broken leaves. Because I mean, even the just putting some honey in there. Even the climate is not going to affect all of Sri Lanka's teas at the same time, you know? Because like I said, I've had good Ceylon before. I would say this is just, I would say lower to mid quality. Okay, so I'm trying it with the honey this time, see if there's any difference. There we go. Okay, have fun, Microdoodles. I will see you later. Okay, I'm gonna see if the honey made any difference in the scent. Yeah, I can definitely smell more of a honey presence. I didn't get that from the sugar. And I'm really congested right now, so it's a little bit difficult for me to take in a good breath, but I can smell the honey for sure. Okay, so this is going to sound weird, but it tasted more like honey with the sugar in it than it does with the honey in it. But it smells more like the honey than it tastes. Does the packet have a lion logo? No, it's a teapot. So it's not a lion logo. But the thing is that this is the logo of the tea company, not the farm that sold it. So the farm that sold it might very well have the lion on it. So you've been reading up on the aromatic qualities of tea, how elevation, climate affect taste, like cloud shade and grown on sunny and humid. Oh yeah, and the thing about that is all those different factors can usher in a different flavor due to the season as well. So the way that it was explained was the best way was during the matcha class that I took, talking about how Girokuro is purposefully grown in harsher conditions so that you get more of the chlorophyll out to get that quality of flavor. The same thing goes for all the different kinds of leaves, where you get more clouds means you get more shade, which means you don't have enough sunlight, so the plant has to produce more chlorophyll, and that would sometimes get a better taste. Having a dry atmosphere wouldn't moisturize the leaf, so you would get a drier blend, a more bland flavor. So all of these different kinds of factors even the soil itself that it's grown on, if it doesn't have these certain vitamins and minerals and different essences in the soil itself, you're not going to produce that quality. So you can actually have a really good tea in one farm, and then literally a mile in another direction you'll have a terrible blend, only because the soil doesn't have the same properties. So It all depends on a lot of different factors. My guess is that the farm that this one is on, it might be a quality farm, but we just got a lower end quality tea leaf. I guess I'm saying that correctly. Whew, okay. Ooh, that was. I'm congested right now. Sorry. So anyway, wow, my hour is almost up. So I'm going to open up the floor now. Questions, comments, anything you want to ask or talk about. Now's your time. Teresa's question I always like to answer, even when she's not here to ask. What would I pair this with? Since it's a very common blend, you can pair it with any kind of meal. I mean, it's the kind of blend that you would drink on a summer day, iced. I would highly recommend. So anything that an iced tea would go with, like watermelon. Watermelon goes great with iced tea, at least in my experience. Oh, excuse me. I would keep it light, just because it would make a great lunchtime tea. Desserts, probably like an ice cream or something creamy, something sweet, so to chase down the bitterness of this particular one. Dark chocolate cake, no, not with this one. Only because the bitterness of the dark chocolate would have a war in your face because of the bitterness of the tea. Christmas cookies is more like it, because you'll have like that light flavor with the crystal sugar on top, usually in different colors. That is absolutely, yeah, I would definitely go for that. Oh, okay. Announcements. I did say that I was going to have a raffle. So next week is Christmas. So I'm going to make a Christmas raffle. So everybody tune into the community, and probably I'll announce it Friday morning. I have to check to see if my raffle website is working. I haven't done it in a while, specifically because it all went a little funky. So it's not 100% sure that I'll be doing the raffle this week. But if everything goes well, then yeah, I'll set up the raffle. I haven't done it in a couple months, and Christmas is a nice time to send out some free stuff. So keep tuned, stay tuned for it. What else? Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing the tea crawl. Oh wait, no, there is one thing, Juliet. While you're here, last I heard there were 3 spots still open for the tea class. I've already got my tickets, and I have a couple of people from the community also coming in. Is it still the case that there's only 3 spots open left? Because I would like to push that out now if you guys are interested. You're in the Chicago area. Tilula is having a special guest speaker. I don't I don't want to push it too hard and say, oh yeah, no, never mind, no seats left. But I assume you are correct. There are still 3 spots open. Oh, okay. Because it would really suck if I said, "Oh yeah, get your tickets today," and they're already gone. So I did share the link earlier in the week. I highly recommend that you guys show up, because this is going to be a very interesting experience. I do love it going to like the tea themed lectures. Those are always fun, and the lectures and the what is it, the classes and stuff like that. It's a really great way to like nerd out and network and really get to meet it. Oh, it's sold out. Aw, well, I mean, it's great that it's sold out, but for those of you who waited, too late. You should have grabbed them when you could. But sorry, I just had to say that. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be an incredible event. There will be more, I'm sure. So just I'll keep you guys posted. Juliet, you keep me posted as well. And I would love to get more people involved in outings like this. Yeah, you're welcome. It's been an incredible. Like I had to jump on those tickets. Like you don't understand. I think I don't know how many seats there are in total, but when I got my tickets, there were still 18. And if I'm not mistaken, there was only like 20 in total. So I was probably like the second person to grab my tickets. And I would have been first had I gotten the the email a little bit sooner. But hey, it's you snooze, you lose. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, if you do, then definitely keep me posted, and I'll put the I'll put the notice up again, because I mean this is something that it would be amazing to take part in. So yeah, if you do open up more seats, definitely keep me posted. I mean, too bad that it's like in the middle of winter, because you could like had standing room only and everybody hanging outside the window of the shop. Maybe install some speakers, have some people listen from outside. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas there. Who knows? He might have an autograph session or something. No, probably not. But you know, I'm just getting a little wacky there. Slightly tea drunk. After one pot, you know. Oh, okay, so I'm down to my last maybe one or two sips. So I'm going to open up the floor again. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk. Now's the time, or forever hold your peace. Ooh, so close. So close. I hate it when that happens. It's so embarrassing. See you next week? Yeah, absolutely. See you next time. Okay. Whew. Thank you guys for joining me again. This has been a pretty good experience. I do have the website to this one. I will post it after in case you still want to try it out for yourself. Or if you like iced tea, this might be the way to go. So if you stay tuned, I'll go ahead and send that to you. In the meantime, have a great weekend, a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.